everybody, Mark, aka the Nerdy Punk, back again for a new video, and today we are finally doing the movie room tour for 2023. It's been a while. The last movie room tour was 2021, so it's been 2 years, and as you can see here, the movie room has changed quite a bit in those 2 years. So I'm going to kind of take you and give you a quick tour around, and you get to see a little bit behind the scenes of what I'm looking at when I'm watching all these great movies and listening to some great music. So without further ado, let's just get into this. So we're going to start over here, and up on the walls we have our Marilyn Monroe calendar. Wasn't sure what to go with the calendar for this year, but I wanted one movie related, and a calendar is something you're gonna look at a lot throughout the year. Certainly doesn't hurt to look at Marilyn Monroe a lot throughout the year. And then we have the map of Westeros from Game of Thrones over there. You can probably see the creases in that poster because it's actually not a poster. It's from the season 1 episode guide from the Blu-ray set of Game of Thrones. And it just has the map of Westeros, so I threw it in a frame and put it on the wall because I thought it looked cool, and it still does look cool. It's just those creases kind of bug me. And then we have the first 2 Atlantic Media shelves. I have 3 of these that I'm currently using. These are great shelves. They're really easy to put together. The only problem is I have too many movies. So I'm only able to use a few of them, but they are really some of the best storage options, especially if you have a small collection. So we're going to start here with Criterion. So this is the Midsummer Special Edition Director's Cut from A24. They have several of these 4K long box style special releases, and I have all of them. I'll show you the rest of them in a minute. But this is the only non-Criterion thing on this shelf. We've got the Ingmar Bergman Cinema set, which I've had for a couple of years. I've still only watched a few of these movies. It is what it is. I like what I've seen. It's just, there's a lot of stuff in this set. And then I have the first Criterion shelf, so I'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit. I do plan on doing a complete Criterion Collection video in the near future, probably in July for the new Barnes & Noble sale, but this is pretty much my entire Criterion Collection here. And then it does spill over into the top shelf of this case as well, ending with the World of Wong Kar-wai box set there on the end. Atop this one, we have the Game of Thrones 4K collection and Supernatural Blu-ray complete series. Below the Criterions on this shelf, I've got A24 movies. A24 is my favorite studio, probably, that makes movies. They kind of make art house movies for the masses, and what I mean by that is they tend to distribute their movies to wide releases, at least a lot of them anyway, not all of them, but they're a very reliable studio for me anyway, of a studio that's going to make a movie that I want to go see in the theater. So I really love collecting their movies, and I love collecting their slipcovers, which is why I have most of my A24 movies as slipcovers. And then this here is the A24 Special Edition collection. I have all of these. They have a series of digipack releases here, and then the 4K long box style releases. Most of these are 4K, not all of these, but all of the long box editions are 4K. And then we have some HBO series, and then just some Blu-ray TV seasons. And then we move on to the TV setup. So the TV setup actually hasn't changed in the past 2 years. Still going with the Vizio 50-inch 4K TV, one of my absolute most used possessions. Definitely, it's been money well spent. I love this 4K format. Looks incredible. I've had no issues with this television. Fantastic TV. Still rocking with the Vizio soundbar to go with it, so no fancy audio equipment here, just a soundbar. Got a couple of Blu-rays just kind of hanging out, laying around. This is Paris, Texas, which I just watched for the first time the other night. Amazing movie. And then as far as the hardware goes, so next to RBG here, we have the Sony 4K Blu-ray player. It's the UBP X700. Pretty solid 4K Blu-ray player. I have my original PS4 from 2013, and then my PS3. As for the hardware, I haven't changed anything in the last 2 years, and I'm not planning on it for the moment. Everything still works. Everything's doing pretty well. I do plan on upgrading to a PS5 sometime in the near future. Of course, that has a 4K Blu-ray player on it. Not sure if it's going to be better quality or worse quality than what I have, but we shall see. In these cabinets here, I've got more stuff. So this is exclusively TV shows on DVD, most of it Law & Order SVU, which is one of my, strange enough to say, comfort shows. I think a lot of people will get that, but this was one of the first things I binge watched when I moved into this place a couple years ago, and I still really like the show. I've kind of lost interest with the most recent seasons, but still happy to have those. And then over here in the other cabinet, I have some special edition releases from the UK. So I'm gonna pull one of these real quick. This is part of a series called the Film Vault. And so far they've only put out 4 of these, but these are from Zavi, which is a UK company, and they're really cool special editions, but they're really big. Like, they're fat, they're tall, they don't fit on a normal shelf, so I've just kind of put these down here. The only bummer is they're not really on display, but they're really cool releases. And 4K is region free, so I don't have to worry about anything in terms of playing those in the United States. They play perfectly on US Blu-ray players. Okay, moving over to this corner. So we've got Margot Robbie there. If you can see her, despite all of the glare. This is a Babylon poster, an original one sheet that I ordered a few months ago. Got put up on the wall. This was my first original one sheet poster. I love Babylon. It was my favorite movie of the year last year. And you gotta have Margot Robbie in the movie room in some way, shape, or form. So definitely don't mind looking at Margot Robbie all day. And then over here we have the bulk of the movie collection, which is on one of these spinning media towers. This is by a company called Prepack, and this is, in terms of space saving, this is the best case scenario for me. I found out about these through Jeff from Films at Home, and he is one of the most successful YouTubers in this film community, so I'm sure everybody's familiar with him. If not, you definitely need to go watch his videos. He's really knowledgeable about film, but especially about the 4K format. And he picked up a couple of these about a year or two ago, around the same time I did. He was consolidating his collection. I needed something that would store a lot in a small amount of space, and it does that. I could probably squeeze another one of these into this corner, but then I might not be able to see Margot Robbie and the glorious Babylon poster. So anyway, let's go through this really quickly. Up top here, I have the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood special edition release, 4K. And that is right above the Quentin Tarantino shelf. So I've got all my Quentin Tarantino movies. I think I'm missing 1 or 2 of his feature films. Jackie Brown, I believe I do not have. I'm not sure if I'm missing anything else. It may be just Jackie Brown. Fingers crossed that gets released on 4K. The Tarantino ones that have been released to 4K I've picked up. So I've got like the beautiful Reservoir Dogs steelbook. I've got special editions of most of his movies. Got this weird Canadian digipack release of Pulp Fiction, which is why it's written in French. I got the new 4K steelbook. Got a steelbook for the Grindhouse double feature. Some really cool releases. I like collecting a lot of different releases of the Tarantino movies. And then that goes into my just kind of standard 4K collection. So this is mostly like major studio titles, things that really didn't have a kind of collection within the collection, so to speak. So they're all in alphabetical order here, starting with 1917. I've got like the 2 Alfred Hitchcock collections. Got some of these really cool Lionsgate Steel books. I'll go ahead and pan down here so you can see what I've got. I'm really happy with this collection. It's grown a lot over the past year or two, which is why I'm running out of space. I'm all the way down to the floor there. All right, let's go ahead and spin this tower around, which can be a challenge sometimes. And then we have the Bond 50 Blu-ray set up top. That goes through Skyfall. So it was the 50th anniversary of Bond back in 2011, I believe. And then we have just the standard Blu-ray titles. So these are, once again, major studio titles mostly, things that just didn't have another collection to go to. So this is probably the only look you're ever gonna get at my complete Blu-ray collection, because I just have too many to show off in a video. But some really cool stuff in here. I definitely need to go through and pick out some things I have duplicates of and get rid of them, but that's the first side of the Blu-ray collection. Spin it around. Columbia Classics Volume 2 4K set up there. I bought this mainly for Taxi Driver and The Social Network, which you cannot get those on 4K in any other way in the United States, at least without importing. You have to get this set. So I picked it up for those 2 movies, but it's a really cool set. More of the Blu-rays. And then just a couple random things here at the bottom. I've got a Grateful Dead box set. I've become a really big fan of the Grateful Dead in the past year or so. And then a bunch of Paramount Presents titles, many of which I have not watched. So there's that side, and then there's one side left of this bad boy. Start out with the No Time to Die special edition. I believe that came from Walmart. When this came out, I think it was a couple years ago. Came with a keychain. Pretty cool. And then this side is Disney, Marvel, and comic book stuff. This is like my childhood stuff. Some of this stuff I still really like and I really enjoy and will always have a part of my collection. Some of it I'm not so sure if I want to keep. I've gotten kind of bored with Marvel as of the past couple years. I haven't watched a Marvel movie since Spider-Man, the last Spider-Man that came out. And I just can't bring myself to go to the theater to watch them or to pay $30 for a 4K. So we'll see. For now, this is still separated out. I've got Pixar on the first shelf, some Disney on the second shelf there, most of that with slipcovers, more Disney, and then Star Wars. I will definitely keep my Star Wars collection. I do still really like Star Wars, but I can't bring myself to get into all the TV series and stuff. That just doesn't appeal to me. And then we got the MCU. I have most of the MCU movies up through Thor: Love and Thunder, which is the most recent one that I have. I still haven't watched it. Like I said, I think this Spider-Man No Way Home is the most recent Marvel movie that I watched. Actually, I lie. I watched this one, Multiverse of Madness, with a friend last year, shortly after it came out. Wasn't a huge fan of it. And then the DC Extended Universe, which is basically dead at this point. And then just some random comic book movies and stuff like that. And I've got a couple extra shelves. I think the most likely scenario is that this stuff is just going to be kind of, I'm going to go through, I'm going to get rid of some of it, and then some of it's going to be put within the rest of the collection because I don't really see the need to separate it out anymore. But this is how it is for now. Maybe next year when I do the tour, it'll be different. All right, back to the front. So that's the big bulk of the collection. Behind here, hiding behind here, it's the only downside of this shelf, I have a couple things. So I have a postcard that's signed by the members of the Fratellis, which is a really great alternative rock band from Scotland. Love them. I got that when I pre-ordered one of their albums. And then I have probably my prized possession, which is a signed set list of Laura Jane Grace and the Devouring Mothers. When I saw them in St. Louis with my friends, my friend was kind enough to snag me the set list and a guitar pick from Laura Jane Grace's pocket herself, which is probably, like I said, my coolest and most prized possession. And then we have just a Bernie Sanders sign just hanging out back there. And then we have the record collection. So record collection is definitely growing, as you can see. So I still have the same turntable set up. Still got the Audio-Technica ATLP 60. Still definitely does the job for me. And I still have these crappy computer speakers. They're not crappy, they're just computer speakers. And audiophiles would be really, really upset, I'm sure, right now. But to me, I can't tell a huge difference, and this still sounds pretty freaking good, in my opinion. So, you know, it does the job for me. And, you know, I don't listen to albums all day, every day. I listen to, you know, maybe 3-4 records a week, and this is definitely sufficient for that. And then we have, here's a new addition to the collection. Incredible album right here. I'm going to talk about this later because I'm going to put out a vinyl video in the next few days, so stay tuned for that. And then we have the record collection. Lots of cool stuff in here. Sorry about that. Hiccups. This is not all of my record collection. So there are still 2 crates full of records, plus these piles on the floor here, which I'll talk about in a second, of records that I still need to find a home for. As you can see, space is quite limited in this bookcase. So I'm still kind of working out the kinks of storing the record collection. But this is like my most important stuff. This is all the stuff that has been cataloged into Discogs and all that. And I have my box set collection down here. Most of that came from Third Man Records. This pile down here, this is albums that are staying in the collection, but I've got a catalog. And then this pile is a bunch of stuff that I still need to listen to and see if it's going to stay in the collection or not. So that's the record setup. We got the air conditioner. I know, very sexy. And then over here in the corner, we've got a Jimi Hendrix poster that I put up there pretty recently. Really love that, really dig it. And then the Final Atlantic Media Shelf, which has mostly boutique horror on it. So I've got the Giallo box sets from Arrow Video, the Friday the 13th box set from Scream Factory. Then we have Scream Factory stuff. I got the Halloween sets. I've got Scream Factory with slipcovers, Scream Factory without slipcovers, some Arrow Video titles, and then just some random stuff. Kind of awkward to show you because of this little table here, but just some random horror stuff mostly on that shelf. I have a lot of stuff in storage that I put away. Things like a bunch of horror Blu-rays I haven't watched in a long time. TV shows, I have tons of TV shows on DVD that I've had to put away into storage because I just don't have space for them. So this is not all the collection, but this is the substantial stuff that gets, you know, repeated viewings. Definitely. So, and then we got the end table. Over here, gosh, holy glare, Batman. Sorry about all the glare. That's the one thing I hate about these poster frames. Gotta see if I can get new poster frames, because the glare is just atrocious. But this is yet another original one sheet. This is from the movie X, one of my favorite movies that came out last year. Really happy to have an original one sheet of that. And then we have the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which of course is not an original one sheet, that is a reprint. And then probably the biggest upgrade to the movie room, besides all that, is the seating. I used to have that one tiny little brown chair. Well, it's not tiny, but that one brown chair that I sat in, and I felt like a hermit because I couldn't invite anybody over because I just had one chair. Well, now I've got a couch and I can finally like have movie nights at my place and stuff. And it's a really cool, just kind of conversational space where it feels like I can, have people over and socialize without, just kind of becoming a hermit and staying home all the time and watching movies by myself. So, it's fun to watch movies by myself in here, but I can also enjoy it with other people. And the couch, believe it or not, is also a movie reference. So, I'm going to give you about 10 seconds to leave your guesses in the comments as to what this is a movie reference of, and I will reveal in a few moments. So, place your guesses down below, get them locked in. All right, we good? The couch is Blue Velvet. Hence, one of my favorite movies of all time, Blue Velvet by David Lynch. So I just had to have a Blue Velvet couch. We got the footstool, we got the rug, really ties the room together. Another movie reference there. I'm full of them. And then we got our little end table here for food and drinks. All kinds of stickers I've just thrown on there, most of them from record companies over the years. Vinyl Me Please sends a sticker with original artwork for every single release, so I've got a bunch of those just kind of thrown on there, and I think it just looks kind of cool. So that's the movie room, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video. Definitely stay tuned in the future for more content. Like I said, I'm planning on filming a vinyl video very shortly, and we'll get that up and talk about some records that I haven't been talking about for a while, it seems. So, and then of course I'm still looking forward to all kinds of great movies in the theater this summer and what the summer brings for the physical media world, movies, music, all that amazing stuff. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you later. Bye.